Hello and welcome to episode 77 of the Craving Crypto podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing a quick update on Bitcoin and EOS. So let's get right into this. Before we go into Bitcoin and EOS, I want to run over the total market cap and the top mover for the day. So the total market cap has rejected off this major resistance point, and I drew a line, a downtrending line, similar to the ones that we saw over here and over here. And I'm going to be watching this line very closely. If we get another point that it touches and rejects off of like this, I will go ahead and move the line, make sure that it's adjusted to the right angles from the market as it's actually moving. But I'm going to be watching for a breakout in that downtrending resistance line and for this middle support to hold. That would be the thing that would confirm to me that there's still strength in this market for the bulls to push higher. If this middle support fails, I'm going to be very wary of this bottom support. I would expect it to fail pretty quickly if this middle one does. And I would likely see further downside in the market cap. And we'd probably go for some of these support levels that used to be resistance along the way up. There is some more resistance and support in between the 65 and then 115 billion range. We already tested the 115 level, but this is kind of the chunk of support that we're looking for in the big picture to see some type of a bigger move on the upside here. So that's what I'm watching for the total market cap. There's still no reason for the bulls to panic significantly. Again, the 111 range, this middle support would be the area that you'd watch for the bulls to panic. So top mover for the day is Decentraland. We also have Engine Coin up 31% and Basic Attention up 23%. So shout out to the Basic Attention holders and the Decentraland and Engine holders. On the 4 hour with Decentraland, you can just see this huge volume spike and a nice bullish buying candlestick here. If we go over to the price range and then go up, we can see that there was a 51% gain. And let's look for a pattern that may have triggered this. We do see an inverse head and shoulders pattern right here pop up in the market, and it broke out and then formed this kind of bull flag structure here. That bull flag did have a breakout above the flag. This can happen sometimes. Channels aren't always perfect, you guys. Occasionally you do get a perfect channel. And then it saw upside from there. So let's just go out into the bigger picture and see what may have caused that in the big picture as well. In the big picture, we have a downward pointing support level that it has reacted off nicely along the correction here. And we have a downward pointing resistance level as well. Now, we have broken above this downward pointing resistance level, so if we see more pushing on the upside and more volume coming in, then this would be an early sign of a bigger picture reversal pattern. If you zoom in here, there's actually another inverse head and shoulders pattern as well. So there's a little one right here, which makes the head of this one, and then you've got that right shoulder here. So there's a lot of things going into this move for Decentraland, but starting to push up towards some of these resistance levels, and it is up over 50%. So I would wait for a red candlestick before getting in on this one if you do play this coin. So Bitcoin has rejected off of its short-term resistance point. A pretty significant rejection, although I will say this can happen, especially on these bigger candlestick patterns, where you will reject off the major resistance or the short-term resistance point, and then you get a big red candle and everybody shakes out of the market, and then before the candlestick closes, the market sees a lot of buying very quickly, and then the candlestick actually closes as a bullish candle. So if this happens with Bitcoin, then that would show a lot of momentum coming back into the market. But we do want to see buying coming back in quickly, because if we have too many red candles after this, or if this candlestick closes as a bearish engulfing, that would show a lot of strength in the bears. I also do not like how this weekly candlestick has this upward pointing wick right here, because we saw the same type of candlestick pattern occur right here in a smaller, kind of a smaller version of it before we sold off more on the downside right there. And it's also the same candlestick pattern that occurred in this little point right here of the 2014 cycle. So I do not like that candle. You guys, for Bitcoin, we need to get some buying coming back into the market very quickly above this resistance on the short term if we want to see any upside, any further upside in these bigger time frames like the daily. So things aren't exactly looking too good right now. We really have to get that buying pressure to come back in quickly before I have the same confidence that we did previously along this upward pointing move right here. And using a downtrending resistance line, we do have a huge chunk of downtrending resistance that Bitcoin needs to get above as well before we could have confidence for the bulls at this level. So you guys, this type of a sell-off right here is something to make you consider the bullish position of it pushing up to the 618. So we do have to get above that downtrending resistance level before Bitcoin is going to have enough momentum to reach anywhere near the 6,000 or even the 5,800 levels again. In my opinion, EOS and Litecoin are going to be the ones that we really want to watch closely, because if these two altcoins pop off, they will carry Bitcoin. They have shown a lot more strength and percentage than Bitcoin in this move, and they did break above that resistance rather than rejecting off of that resistance when they met it at that point right here in the same kind of spot that we're seeing in the markets. So watch this support level to hold for both Litecoin and EOS. You guys, this does have a bullish volume profile. If you take a minute and research how volume works, it won't take very long before you find that increasing prices and increasing volume is a bullish sign, and then decreasing prices and decreasing volume results in a bullish move as well. And if we check out the volume profile for EOS all through really 2017 into 2019, we see a very, very positive correlation between that exact thing. Increasing prices, increasing volume, decreasing pricing, decreasing volume, and a cycle repeats over and over each time it rises and falls. So this is a very bullish volume profile in the big picture for EOS. And I also like to point out that the 95% Fibonacci retracement has been tested very nicely here. So these are the ones that I'd be watching if we do want to see that buying come back into the total market cap and more buying coming back into Bitcoin. We'll need to see it come back into these coins first. And with EOS specifically, if the 88% level can hold and we can push above the 786 level, I would suspect these 618 levels to be the next target for us. And that's going to mean a lot of money coming back into the total market cap, including Bitcoin, and we'll see more fireworks in some of the altcoins. But if for some reason Bitcoin fails at that middle support level and the total market cap fails at that middle support level, these could always drop further as well. But they are setting up for a nice reversal pattern, so we're watching them very, very closely. Anyways, I hope that gives you guys some clarity on the short term and medium term with EOS and Bitcoin and kind of what happened with this candlestick that we saw in the crypto markets. And I hope that you guys learned something. Go ahead and follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Smash up that like button for me, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in future videos to come. As always, stay profitable out there.